Howdy ho, happy hump day. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. I want to talk about something that is a little. I'm torn, guys. I'm torn. There are these, I call them famous. There's these famous type people. I thought I was going to turn. There's some famous type people on the YouTube and Instagram. They're a black lesbian couple named LaShonda and Rashonda. That's not turning. LaShonda and Rashonda. Now, um, there's some fraud and scamming going on, and Rashonda, who's been victimized, is spilling all the tea. And I don't think she's spilling tea for likes and views. I believe she's spilling tea for her own protection because there's definitely going to be some legal stuff going on because her wife has been pretty much stealing money from people by way of rent and real estate and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the details because that don't matter. I'm not doing a story on them. I'm doing a story. I'm not discussing the situation. I'm discussing a product of a topic that came up because of this situation that I'm torn about. Should you do a background check on your partner? Because all of this stuff is coming up in the situation where her wife has done time for fraud and was in jail. And she was like, I didn't know. Now, should you conduct a background check on your partner? And, all of this stuff is coming out, and people said, well, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you double check that she was paying y'all rent and stuff like that? And she said something that was really poignant to me. She said, I had no reason not to trust her. And I felt that in my soul because, don't I look cute today? Because if this situation was to happen to me, I would be blindsided just as much as Rashonda is if my husband was the bad one. There would have been no red flags. There would be no signs. There's nothing in our 13-year relationship, 10 years of marriage, 13 years together. There is nothing that would trigger me to be like, and for me not to trust him. And people say that all the time. Oh, niggas do this and that. Nothing. Nothing. I don't go through this man's phone. Nothing. I would have no reason not to trust him. Now, when it comes to finances, he don't handle none of that. He don't have none of that. We do have a joint account. I have my own checking account, my own savings account. However, I'm listed on all his accounts because I take care of the money. So it's not like he could go out and do something that is financial based. No, that's me. He don't have access, and not because I'm steadfast and whole. I said in my last video, we have roles. I'm the finance person. I'm the money person. That's my thing. I'm good. I don't know if I'm good at it. I've kept us together for 13 years, but I do our taxes and investments and all that. That's me, right? I've been taking some. I've been dabbling in some risky startups and businesses, but so far they've been okay. Because if you invest in a startup and they fail, that money gone. So far, fingers crossed, for the past 3 years, they've been okay. One of them is in a downward trend, but that's to be expected. But the other one, the startup, is just upward, and has caught on with, and Ecolab has now partnered with them. So, and we're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars, a little 2,000 here, 3,000 here. That's the only risky stuff. I'll do another video on our finances and investments. But anyway, that's me. However, anything else, he could possibly do to get us in trouble, I would be blindsided. And Rashonda said the same thing. I had no reason not to trust her. But then lo and behold, all of this is coming out, and LaShonda, the bad wife, I'm gonna say the bad wife and the good wife, the bad wife has been to jail for fraud. And somebody said, well, why didn't she do a background check? It has never been a thought in my head, because maybe it's more easily done now, and when I was watching videos, it is more easily done to get a background check on somebody. But 13 years ago, I wouldn't even know where to start and who to contact to do a background check on my husband. I wouldn't know. It didn't even cross my mind to do a background check. Now, I did ask questions, and I could only take this man's word for it. These are the questions I asked. Like, and this is the stuff that was divulged to me. What is your credit score? This is your credit score. This is mine. When we met, his credit score was abysmal. 3 years, we worked together to fix it. And by he just took all of his income to get his debt down, because he had massive amount of student loans and some credit card debt, because he was living off credit cards when he was in college. I took care of everything financially, and he threw all of his non-for-profit weak ass salary that we both was making to get the debt down. That was our agreement. So as the debt, and then I put him as a user on my credit card because I had the good credit, and that helped get it up, right? And I trusted him. Okay, I'm gonna put you on my credit card. And this was before we were married, so I had to take a risk, a big fucking risk, a big risk. It worked out, but I took a risk with him. But it's not after having open and honest conversations. What is your credit score? How much debt do you have? This is how much debt I have. How much debt do you have? Do you have any children? Because, niggas will tell you I ain't got no kids. Do you have any children? And I know from a situation I was in, do you have any on the way? Because I was in a situation, he said, when he was going to a baby shower for his child, he told me he was going to a baby shower. I see the pictures. I said, why are you sitting next to the mother opening presents? Where's the baby daddy? He said, I'm the baby daddy. I said, what? Yeah, that's my baby on the way. I said, nigga, you didn't tell me you had a baby on the way. This motherfucker gonna say, you didn't ask me. I said, yes, I did. I asked you if you have any children. He said, I don't. Nigga. He said, I don't have any kids. She's pregnant. I don't have any kids yet. You didn't ask me if I had any on the way. Lord. This was a 4-month situational shit. Let's just say my ass was out. No. So, all right. Lesson learned. How do you argue with fucking logic? It's impossible. You're right. One, I asked you if you had any kids. You answered me truthful. Technically, you didn't lie to me. You can't argue with logic. But I got to go. So I asked him, did he have any children, and did he have any children on the way? He asked me no. I said, and I followed up. In this country or any other country on planet Earth, because if there's alien children, I'm not interested. Do you have any children that reside on the planet Earth? Okay? He said no. All right. Not that he knows of. I said, is there any situation that you have been in where you might have children? And he said, no, I have access to all the women that I have slept with. No kids of mine. Most of them don't have kids. And the one that does have a kid, that was her kid before me. She don't have any other kids. Okay. We asked those questions. That was it. I didn't do no background check. Oh, and I made sure to get his social security number, because I know if he was to get me knocked up and leave me, if I wanted to get child support, it's a lot easier if I get that social security number. So these are the things that I did to protect myself when starting this very serious relationship with my husband, who was then my boyfriend. Other than that, I didn't even think in this big, beautiful brain of mine to go and get a background check. So when somebody said she should have got a background check, I'm like, should she? They were together for 3 years. married for 3 years, 6 years. I don't know if that is a thing. It's the same as a prenup. Oh, you should have gotten a prenup. You shouldn't have gotten a prenup. You should have. Now, I know that is the smart, responsible, level-headed thing to do. I am not arguing with that. Yes, you should. If you have variable assets, different types of assets, you definitely should get a prenup. If you have stuff before the marriage, because if you gain your status and your wealth after the marriage, a prenup doesn't fucking matter. It's marital property, whether you busted your ass to get it or not. Doesn't matter. But if you have shit before the marriage that you got on your own, then yes, you should get a prenup. I didn't own a motherfucking thing when I got married. Not even my car. The bank owned that. Chase owned the car. So I didn't own anything before the marriage. No need, and he ain't own shit either. No need for us to get a prenup. Property that we got was after the marriage. If we was to divorce, we would have to split that in half. Prenup wouldn't have helped nothing. But if I had owned that apartment before we got married, we would have had to get a prenup. Or I would have had to be comfortable enough with splitting that asset with him. That is or vice versa. If he had property, he would have to make me sign a prenup or request that I sign a prenup or be comfortable with splitting the asset with me. I'm saying me a lot because I'm talking about me, but it goes both ways, right? We know that. So we don't have a prenup. We ain't have shit. Like I said, we were so broke, we would spend Saturday night, play the humming game for 8-9 hours. And the humming game is humming a song and having the other one figure it out. Laying in our bed with the lights off. Okay, maybe a Dollar Tree candle going for ambiance. Lights off.
The expected delay due to traffic is 5 minutes.
To keep the bills down. Okay? Washing towels and drying them on that old school heater to save electricity, to save money. So we could buy a property, right? That's how broke we was. So nobody needs to sign no prenup. But I'm not against prenups. I say all that to say I'm not against prenups. I think you're supposed to. If you are prenup worthy. Yes, you are. People say, oh, you already dooming the marriage before it's done. Don't sign a prenup then. That's fine. But be prepared to split everything with that other person. If you're okay with that and you love them enough and there's nothing that they can do to possibly make you feel like you did not want to share this wealth with them, then don't sign it. But don't bitch and moan either if the marriage dissolves and now you got to give her half or him half, right? Same thing with a background check. I think logically, responsibly, all the bliblies, that you should, all intents and purposes, get a background check on your spouse and your partner. But there's a side of me that says that's fucked up. And I teeter with this. Should you let me live in my own bliss? Or should I know as a way of protection? Another caveat, I don't know if I'm using that word right, but I like it. Another caveat of the situation is, if you know your friend's spouse is cheating, are you supposed to say something? That's a dick move. Are you supposed to say something? Or are you supposed to let that friend live in their bliss and don't potentially ruin a happy home? Here's how I feel about it. You know your friend better than your spouse, they spouse do. That's your friend, and y'all been friends for a while. You know her. If you know, I'm going to say her because I'm a girl. If you know, if you tell her man is cheating on her and she's not going to leave, don't say nothing. Cause what the fuck are you telling her for? She's not gonna leave. And you know she's not gonna leave because they've been on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. You know it's not gonna happen. Don't say nothing. If you know that if you tell her she's going to leave, then tell her. That's how I feel about it. That's how I wrap my head around it. For all you people online, if you find out that my man is cheating on me, don't tell me because I'm not going to leave. I've said that very clear. Cheating is not an end all be all for marriage for me. To me, sex is not that. It's the lying and stuff that would bother me, and the sneaking behind the back and all that. That is what would bother me. But cheating, I'm not a leaver for cheating. So you might as well not tell me. But if you do tell me, it's not going to mess up our relationships either, and it's not going to hurt me. That's the other part. So tell me or don't tell me. It's up to you. But don't think you're going to tell me because I'm going to leave. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving because I can't torture him if I'm gone. I can't destroy him mentally if he's not in the house with me. How the fuck I'm supposed to get my lick back and he's gone? No, you stay there, baby, and agonize to see if that dinner I gave you got rat poison in it. Anywho, so where was I going? Oh, background checks. Is it worth it? I don't know. Are you supposed to do it? I don't know. And if it does, and background checks only mean something that's documented. It's not really a measuring stick on if that person is a scammer or anything. You just would have found out if they got caught. And in this case with LaShonda and Rashonda, she would have found out that she did jail time. That's it. That's all the background check. All the money she done stole from the church, child, it goes deep. All the money she stole from the church and money she borrowed from people, none of that would have came up in the background check. So you could do a background check on a motherfucker and nothing comes back because they haven't been caught, or the people that they have heard or scammed never press charges. There's a lot of rapes that go unreported. Don't mean they didn't happen. I think the rape statistics are astronomical, more than what we know, because we can only know what we know and what's been reported. I think they go way beyond that. Just victims don't come forward because you are torn to smithereens and obliterated when you try to take a rapist to court. Let me tell you something. They are so hard on the victim than they are the rapist, because the burden of proof that you are raped is on you. They don't have to prove that they didn't rape you. You have to prove that they raped you. And you know how many rape kits are sitting in hospitals right now that haven't been tested, and then by the time they get to it, the samples are too old and they're worthless and they get thrown out. I don't know, my memory is shit, but do you remember something came out of all the thousands of rape kits that had to be discarded because they weren't tested in a timely fashion? Was that a thing, or am I having a Mandela effect? I think that happened. So a background check is really not a surefire way of getting an insight on a person, but it can tell you if they had any legal, criminal, outstanding debt, you know, if they've defaulted on a loan or what have you. That will get it. But if they didn't default on anything or had any criminal or civil charges against them, they could be a scammer all they want. And they could have a bunch of children out there that they've never signed a birth certificate for. So I don't know. It's a toss-up. I don't know. But I definitely don't want to be, and I don't want other women or other men to be, there's a stranger in my house, took a while to figure out. You don't want to be laid up to no fucking fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be laying that. And Rashonda says she thinks that her wife sought after her. Like it was never real. Like she's been a mark from the beginning. How terrible is that? Your children had access to this person. She has the bad wife has a son that the good wife and the good wife's children love and adore. That is a death. That is going to be a death because I'm not fucking with you no more, which means I don't have access to your son. That is a death. That is terrible. Let me tell you something. The good wife had a conversation with the bad wife's mother. You know what the bad wife mother said? Everybody lie. What? Everybody lie? Nigga! So you just okay with the behavior because everybody lies. What your daughter is doing and has done, it's okay because everybody lie? Let me tell you something. This is going to sound real crude. Everybody shits, but we not throwing it at other people. Everybody shits, but nobody is picking it up and throwing it at each other. You see what I mean? The behavior. That is a behavior, ma'am. You know what I lied to my husband about? She right. Everybody do lie. You know what I lied to my husband about? Nah, I didn't have no sugar today. You can make me that ice cream cone. I didn't have no sugar today. Knowing I ate 2 muffins in the office at work today. No, I didn't have no sugars today. You could make me that ice cream. That's what you lie about, ma'am. Not that I have not been paying our rent for 11 months. Not that I lied and told you that our mother gifted us a dining room set and then 4, 5, or 6, 7 months later, Rent-A-Center is coming to collect it. These are the lies. Girl. Not her brother saying, I've been cash apping her the money for the rent for a whole year and she hasn't been paying it. No, ma'am. Mama, ma'am of the bad wife. Everybody don't lie like that. Your progeny lies like that. Anyway, what y'all feel about background checks on potential spouses? I don't know. This is perplexing. I didn't do one. I mean, cross my fingers. It's been okay. It's been okay. He a good man, Savannah. He a good man. Bye.